There is a huge misconception that for you to be fluent, you need to know all of the vocabulary that there is in a language. I get this a lot from my students that sometimes when they don't know words, when they are not sure about something, and they get this feeling that they're not good enough. Being fluent is not knowing all of the vocabulary in a language. I am fluent and I don't know all of the words in English, and also I don't know all of the words in Spanish or Catalan. And Catalan and Spanish are both of them are my native languages, so it's going to be very difficult for me that if I don't know all of the words in Catalan and Spanish, how could I in English? Like, how? So I'm going to start this little series. I'm not sure if I'm going to call it a series, but it's just going to be that every now and then I'm going to tell you new words that I'm learning in English. We all want to improve, we all want to get better, but sometimes it's difficult to find resources. And I think over the years of perfection, should I say, because I think my input is already quite good in English in the sense that I follow many creators that I look up to. I also learn English from them. So it's not only that I look up to them because, I like their personality and because I learn something from them. They add value to my life in a way or another, but also because they speak English, I learn from them. Today we're gonna have a look at this one text, which actually it's a post from Instagram, and I do this a lot, and I think you should also do it. So follow creators that you like and look at what they write, and also look at the comments. Today we're not gonna look at the comments, but I love looking at the comments and just seeing what people are talking about, the kind of language they use. I absolutely love that. Creator is Kiara, and she's a lovely person. And Saturday morning, we got up early, grabbed a coffee, and went for a mooch along the beach in the sunshine. As you know, things have felt a little tough in my old noggin recently, and I've really let myself slip into bad habits of laying in bed, doom scrolling, and not feeling motivated to do much of anything. This weekend stroll and sunshine reminded me of how important it is to get up and out. Nothing beats moving your body and feeling part of the secret morning club before the whole world wakes up. If you've been feeling a little low recently, this is your sign to get up, grab yourself a little coffee, and get mooching. I want to start with mooch along. Now, this word, I've heard it before, and so I did my research and I've got some information for you. A period of time spent walking around slowly and without much purpose. So, in this context, this would be a specific meaning, but I always like to learn a little more, and I've got two more definitions: to borrow from people or ask them to give you things without paying for them or intending to return them. So, for example, you're old enough to get a job and stop mooching off your family. He mooched a few beers from me as we watched the game. To walk or do things slowly and without much purpose. But in this case, with the connotation of it being disapproving, yeah? So a bit different from the first one. Stop mooching in your room and do something useful. Moving on with text, the next word I've learned, and this one I actually like, it's completely new, it's brand new, as I like to say. I've never seen this before, I've never heard this before, but actually I understood. So, in spite of not knowing this word, and as I say, I am fluent and I didn't know this word. So, when you find new words in a text, it's okay. It does not mean that you're not fluent, okay? Always try to understand the text. So she says, in my old nagging. In my old nagging. Now, Apparently, nagging means head. It's sort of cutesy and old sounding. I would expect it to hear it in a cartoon from an older person or in an old TV show. I really like this because this person is giving you real life examples of who is going to say this, who is going to use it, and how you're gonna come across. Because sometimes we don't think about this when we learn words. We don't think about how we're gonna come across. So when I say this, now I know that it has this humoristic sound to it. It could have it, right? And also, it's something that maybe an older person would say. So always go a bit further and don't just look up the meaning. Look up, try to find more examples, try to find more information, because the more research you do, it will also help you remember this word because you will see the word like more times, right? Makes sense. But also, it will help you now know how to properly use it. I also like when she says that things have felt a little tough, because this is something that for me as a Spanish speaker, as someone that speaks Spanish as their first language, is quite different. It is a construction that makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. So, this is something that I also want to highlight and try to use a bit more, because also it's very versatile. I can use it in loads of different scenarios. Slip into bad habits. Slip into, I think I've never used this. Like, maybe I've heard it before, maybe I read it. You know, it gets to a point that I'm not even sure if I've actually heard it before or not, or that maybe I don't remember when, but I understood it. I didn't need to look this up to know what this person was trying to say. But I really like it because slip into bad habits would be like saying fall into bad habits. I don't know right now if there would be a subtle difference, but I'm pretty sure that they're basically the same thing. I quite like it. So I also highlight this one. And last but not least, nothing beats moving your body. I love this. Nothing beats something. I've definitely heard this before. I think this is super common. I've seen this like so many times, but I don't really use it. So I also highlight this and try to use it in my writing, maybe. I don't know. I think this one is quite nice to use it in conversation. This is the kind of video that I wish I had seen, because I used to get so frustrated. And so I just wished that, someone had come to me and had just helped me, like what to actually do with the text and how to classify the different vocabulary you can encounter and how you should go about this in different levels, because I think it can truly be life changing and it can truly be a turning point in your learning. Like the way you learn vocabulary can absolutely be a game changer. I'm actually using so many cool expressions right now: game changer, turning point. These are the things that you really need to pay attention to. These expressions, these phrases that are very versatile, that come across as, something that a native speaker would say, and it just really helps with the flow of the conversation. Some final thoughts. I want to say that please don't tell yourself that you're not fluent because you maybe lack some vocabulary, because that's not a good definition of fluency. For me, I'm actually going to make a video about my definition of being fluent, but one of the key aspects for me is, am I able to communicate without knowing a specific word? Because I've been in so many situations, right, that I didn't know a specific word and I was trying to make a point about something, I was trying to explain something, and maybe I didn't know that specific word that I actually knew in Spanish, but I still rephrased and I got my message across and I got my point across. And to me, that is what being fluent is. Obviously, you want to keep learning vocabulary, but can you communicate? You can obviously pause, it doesn't have to be like right away. You pause and you try to think of how can I phrase this? And if you can do that and the other person actually understands, you're fluent. And you can be less fluent, you can be more fluent, but that's what being fluent means. And you should work towards being more fluent. That's the whole point of learning, right? Feel more confident about your skills. Oftentimes, we know so much more than what we think we do. I'm going to finish the video here. I actually need to go. This week is my last week of this course I'm teaching, which has been so intense. I loved it, but it's been quite tiring because doing preparation for official exams is a lot of work and I am exhausted. But it's a good thing that August is around the corner and hopefully I will get some rest. But I will keep making videos because this is something that I love. I love talking to you guys and I especially love seeing the comments. Learning English absolutely changed my life. It made me such a happier and more confident person. And I just really want to help people with that because I know that learning foreign languages can be life changing. They can make you so happy and I just really want everyone to be happy. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.